This is my 2015 Maserati GranTurismo, or the Gran Cabrio, and I want to make an all-in-one video here. Should you actually buy one of these? We're going to talk about the performance, the reliability, the looks, and everything there is to know about this car. Without further ado, let's hop in here. I know you probably hear some lawnmower sounds. Let's take this thing for a drive and, well, let me give you every piece of information that I know about this car, and I did so much research when buying this thing. I watched every YouTube video, all that startup. I read every single Reddit thread, and I felt like I knew what I was getting into when I bought this thing, whether that's good or bad, and you can make that decision by the end of this video. All right, you may see a check engine light, but that is a system check, and that should go away after about 15 seconds. Yes, it has never stayed on. So, okay, you ready? Let's throw this thing in manual mode to keep those exhaust valves open, and let's take this thing for a little cruise. The car is already warmed up, so we should be able to be a little bit thrashy with it. Oh, we got to put sport mode on. There we go. All right, the craziest thing about this car is how much they have depreciated. These things new, depending on what spec you're looking at, whether it's the base, the sport, the convertible, or the MC or the MC Stradale, they all start at around $130,000, $140,000. This one, because it's the sport version, as you can see there, and it's a convertible, obviously, this one started at $150,000. And now, you'll find these for around 30 to 40. This one was 40 because I wanted to, make sure my situation was a little bit more reliable than other examples may be. But the price, first and foremost, makes this one of the coolest cars you can possibly look at. There is no other car that I would get that's depreciated this heavily, like, for example, a Bentley. A lot of those have been unreliable. I actually drove one, and it had a check engine light after an hour of driving, and the trunk stopped working. This one has given me, you hear some brake squeal, but, that's not really an issue. I do need to replace the brake pads in the front, but this one has given me no actual issues so far. It sounds so good, it sounds healthy. And I think let's go ahead and just talk about the reliability, because that's one of the things that's either gonna make or break people buying this or not. Let's go. Okay, there's a C8 Corvette up there. That was Z06 too. Okay, so if you get a GranTurismo between the year 2008 and 2012, they have a known cam variator issue. That's where you get a very rough sounding startup, and it's a problem you pretty much need to fix. This one's 2015, so I aim to avoid that issue. But if you get one of those, you're probably looking at a $2,000 to $3,000 to $4,000 repair cost on that. So my best advice would be just get one after 2012, because after 2012, not only did they add the facelift, which makes the car look even better, but you avoid that pretty well-known issue. Now, the second well-known issue that you're gonna probably have to deal with if it wasn't fixed prior to you owning it is going to be a leaky valve cover gasket. And if you don't go to a dealership, you're looking at a repair cost between $1,000 to $2,000. Now, some of you may be like, that's a lot. Some of you may be like, holy crap, I can still own a $40,000 car and not have to worry about a $10,000 fix. Well, from all my research I've ever done, that's the reality of owning this car. It is genuinely affordable to own. Now, we're not comparing this to a Toyota Corolla, obviously, but the average owner across every video I've ever watched and every thread I've ever read hovers between $3,000 to $5,000 a year. And that's generally people taking it to independent shops, not doing the maintenance on their own. Some of the people I've read, people doing maintenance on their own, have kept the cost as low as $1,000 a year. Now, I'm not really an expert on cars like that in terms of fixing stuff. So some of the stuff like the brake pads, I'm gonna do that. Oil change, I'm gonna do that. But like repairing a leaky valve cover gasket, well, the actual parts cost there is only about $200. It's the labor where they get you. Insurance, this is going to be a very expensive car to insure. Maseratis are up there because replacing anything is extremely expensive. My insurance is $330 a month. But when you hear that noise, it's worth it. So generally speaking, and the only other reliability issue I probably should mention, by the way, is they can have suspension and axle issues. I haven't really noticed anything going on there. I have read about electrical issues as well, and I actually just did encounter that. I had a bunch of warning lights pop on, but then I read that can happen, just restart it, and then it all went away, and so not an issue. But everything is riding very well. It sounds very well. You know, I've been daily driving this ever since I got it. It's been going pretty good. Listen to the noise when it hits 2,000 RPM. One of the best sounds in the car industry. Oh my gosh. Now, looks. Let's go over the exterior and the interior. First of all, the exterior, that won't take too long. I actually made it a whole entire individual video about how much attention this car gets. It is insane. It is a rare car. It is a car that catches a lot of eyes. I get waved at all the time. I have people coming up to me at gas stations. It gets more attention than you might want if you're not somebody that likes attention. People love the car. Now, the interior infotainment system sucks. You don't get a backup camera, and it's a 2015. You can't connect your phone to Bluetooth for music. You can for calls, but I do like myself some music. However, you get the exhaust note, so that's music in and of itself. The interior is really just about the classiness, with the Maserati logos on the headrests, the very fine Italian leather, and it gives you a very nice smell in here as well. The carbon fiber going across the clock, it's just very classy. It's definitely more of an old school vibe that you get in here. So it's just different. If you're willing to put up with a terrible infotainment system and more of a classy design, then it's worth it because of the noise. And how about the performance though? Unfortunately, people, mostly online people, have called this car slow, but anybody that I've taken for a ride in this thing, they have a good time, and I have a good time every time I step in this thing. It has more than enough pep in its step. I'm starting to use like old man language because I feel like an old man driving this thing, but you feel good. You feel really good driving this thing. It just, I don't know. You feel the Italian classiness. So it's really about what type of person you are. I'm a noise person, I am a classiness person, and so this car fits my personality pretty dang well. I also like having a car that you never, ever, ever see on the road. Also, the fuel light just came on, so that's a whole different discussion right there. This thing is horrible on, hold on. Oh my gosh. Yeah, this thing is absolutely garbage on fuel economy, but what do you expect? It's a Ferrari-derived V8, so that's not a problem. Just when you romp on it, of course, you're gonna have to fill up a lot more than you maybe thought you would have to. I'm saying that as a Tesla is riding behind me. The one thing I will say is you probably want to make sure you just have some money set aside. Because, you know, I bought this thing a little bit too quick. I could have waited longer. I could have done some more due diligence, maybe have done a pre-purchase inspection, but I rushed the crap out of this thing. And so it's definitely scary. It's a little bit scary taking this thing out. Like I said though, no issues so far. I plan to keep you guys updated because I'll own this car for the foreseeable future from what I can tell. I love it. I love every single second of it. It's the best cheap exotic car you can buy, without a doubt. $40K and you get yourself an exotic. Now yes, you pay exotic maintenance. Oh, is that a 2024 Dark Horse right there? That is very clean. we need to go ahead and get some gas here, and I'll actually show you guys how much it costs to fill this thing up. Alrighty. And you have to press a button to open up the fuel thing. So that's another kind of negative thing about owning this car, is so much of this stuff is electronic. So you're relying on the trunk, the door handle release, the window regulator, because it goes up every single time you close it, and then of course the gas cap, that's definitely a negative thing about owning this. $55, and it definitely wasn't all the way on empty. And of course, yep, 93 for this thing. I'm sure we'll be back in a couple of days here, because yeah, when you daily drive this thing and drive it like I do, you're gonna be filling up a lot. Oh my gosh, that sound. All right, a couple more things I want to say about the reliability of this car. The transmission that you want, if you want to go low maintenance, it's going to be the ZF automatic. If you go with the F1 transmission, that thing needs pretty frequent, yes, clutch replacements, and that can run you up thousands upon thousands of dollars. MC shift, that's going to be a bit more maintenance as well. The ZF is going to be the most reliable, low maintenance transmission. And then the engine you want, of course, is going to be the 4.7. You hear everybody, every owner, every car YouTube channel person that's a mechanic say the 4.7 is the one that you want. It won Engine of the Year award several times. It's reliable. Oh, we gotta go. Yep, we made it. So, you should buy one of these if you are for certain that the thing is in at least semi-decent condition. You should buy one of these if you're willing to set a little bit aside of money for any potential repair costs. Again, generally speaking, if you listen to actual owners of this car, they have nothing but positive things to say. This one's got 41,000 miles on it, and it still rides quite well. I have no immediate concerns. So, all around, I would argue, to keep this thing on the road, if it's less than, 1 second here. Let's do another poll real quick. I would argue if this thing is less than $5,000 a year in maintenance and repairs combined, this is one of the best cars for under $40,000. Yeah, under $40,000. You could still go up more and get like a 2018. But I think the design of the 2013s to 2017s look even better. So it's up to you. Those have backup camera and music and all that with Bluetooth. It's totally up to whatever your preferences are. But I would argue this is one of the best value cars you can get. Yeah, just be prepared to make a little bit of sacrifices with some practicality and being a little bit wary of all the electronic things that you're relying on for, like the doors, the trunk, and etc. But the best sounding car, it's fast, and it's rare, and it looks amazing and gets a lot of attention. Let me know down in the comments if you guys have any questions, and if you would buy one of these, or if you're maybe looking at getting one. If you have owned one, let me know what your ownership experience has been with this thing. Appreciate you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace!